1992, 93, you're 10, 11, 12, that time frame. What did you want to do with your life back then?
Uh, my brother passed away when I was 13. So it's his birthday today, by the way,
Oh
which
man,
is
sorry.
pretty weird. He lived a great life. He was 19 when he passed away.
Oh,
Um, he is the middle brother, and I'm the smallest one. And my big brother Neto is still, kicking it, Um, but it's my mom, my dad, three kids, three boys, classic Mexican family, close, um, very tight knit, stable as shit. My mom's a saint, my dad, man's man, working type thing.
what did he do?
He had an electrical engineer,
Oh,
so he build transformer boxes and
oh,
electrical light posts and stuff like that. So again, none of this madness.
yeah.
My brother Eric passed away when he was 19. He was, for lack of a better word, the best of us. He was the hope. He was the life of the party. My dad has 11 brothers, and when my brother would show up, legit, he would get a standing ovation.
No kidding.
That's how popular he was. His funeral was almost like a party. It's probably the biggest party I've ever been to. It was very influential. When he died, my mother went into a psychiatric situation, and my dad basically went into alcoholism. And I was left to be a feral kid
Oh wow.
at 13. So I normalized a lot of stuff that I thought was normal for a 13-year-old, like getting a job and
Hmm.
being kind of homeless for a bit and just being left to my own devices. Uh, I had this I had this traumatic event around that time where my mother was on the balcony waiting for my brother that was never going to come home. Um, and I got home in my skateboard at night. Uh, I saw her in the balcony, and when I got to the light of the front door, she was kind of excited because she thought it was my brother that passed away. So when she saw it was me, she looked disappointed and saw right through me, basically. And that's when my suicidal tendencies were born. And then the whole aspect of it shouldn't have been me, or I should have died instead of my brother aspect kind of was born. Um, that trauma led me to basically overachieve. That's a radioactive spider that bit me, I guess. So I went into business for my own, I shoplifted a bit. I did some hood rat shit with my friends. The first locks that I ever picked were when I was a kid, and we would open up backyard pools for some of the cartel houses that the army had taken, and we would skate the pools in some of these places. For example, um, I studied a lot. I was pretty good at school. And a big reason of that was for my mom to pay attention to me because she was still off mourning my brother for most of my early life.
Yeah.
So eventually I got into medicine and I did 2 years of medical school.
No
And
way.
yeah, I did 2 years of medical school trying to figure that out.
Oh wow.
And a lot of that was legit trying to get it to the attention of my mother and my dad to be proud of me or to put me on the same level as my brother, which is impossible. Can't compete with a ghost, but that was my trauma. 9/11 hit and I had to look for options, and the only option was an ad in the newspaper looking for unmarried young expendable idiots like myself.
No way.
And when I showed the newspaper to my brother and my father, they said, "No fucking way in hell are you capable of going and doing this.
Hmm.
You're probably going to drop out as soon as the pressure comes on,"
Hmm.
which is the worst thing you can tell me.
Right. Yep. Tell you can't do something. What
Yeah,
happened to your brother?
a car accident. a very tragic car accident. He was riding in the back with his girlfriend, and his best friend was riding in the front. Everybody survived except him.
Oh man.
Um, but something about that experience basically gave me this. And again, a lot of people want to talk about being born supernatural, like with the supernatural drive or something like that. For me, it was born. Like again, 2 years of therapy brought me to the conclusion that it was born right there and then. Um, Going from skateboarding and having spiked hair for about that big and having a punk band in Tijuana. We were called Arm the Homeless was the name of my punk band, by the way. It's a pretty fucking fitting name. Thinking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we I found myself in the middle of a refurbished prison being trained by former Mexican Army Special Forces units in police work, which was strange, or I didn't fit what I expected. But it was paramilitary training because we were about to go and do basically a paramilitary operation, was just trying to recover a whole segment of the country.
Was like a boot camp, or what you envisioned a boot camp was from films, or what you've been told?
We were sold the whole aspect of being a professional modern police.
Okay. And is this a national police force? Is it?
There's no national police force at this time. The federal police is basically the army dressed in gray in the back of my truck.
Okay.
There's no federal police to be. So this is a different time.
What is the organization? What was it? Was it?
It was basically a federalized state level organization.
Okay.
Experiment, basically. That's
Okay.
why they sent a lieutenant colonel in the form of Lizola to run the academy,
Mm-hmm.
to run the program, and then to run us when we got out.
Okay.
So they basically created the whole process of creating the tool that he would then use to try and fight this issue.
Wow.
He was very smart. He was very smart about it, and there was a lot of people behind that effort.